What's up, crew? Let me know if you can see me. Let me know if you can hear me. Happy Sunday night. What's up, Michelle? What's up, Rich? What's up, Ruth, Kim, Tanu? What's up, Betty, Barb, Michelle, Kyle, Mary Alice? How are you? All-Star, what's going on? Nancy, how are you? All right. It's All-Star training time. Ronnie, Connie, how are you? Jewel, Minion, what's going on? Debbie, Mel, Michelle, TC, Yvonne, Sandy. Got the usual suspects in the house tonight. What's up, Eric? How are you? Pilar, what's going on? Marine. All right. Here's the deal we got tonight. We'll probably be our normal, I always schedule it for an hour. It normally ends up being an hour and a half. Who knows? Maybe longer. But what we got going on tonight, and I know a lot of you in here may not be, and I want to get an idea. How many of you, give me a yes if you are a Wizard Corel user, and give me a no if you're not. Just to kind of get an idea of the crowd we got in here tonight. Yes if you currently use the Wizard and Corel, and no if you don't. Because those of you who don't, and look at it and think, oh man, I'm not really going to get a lot out of this. Here's the great thing about it, is what it's going to be able to do is kind of show you a few different things that the Wizard can do. So as your business grows and as you grow and you see in different things that you work with, whether you're using Silhouette Designer Edition, Business Edition, Design Space, Make the Cut, whatever it is hopefully to kind of show you, okay, well, is this worth it to me? Is it not worth it to me? And so on. But then also, the cool thing is I'll make a couple different designs, and all of you guys will get the designs for free. So there's still obviously a benefit, because you're going to get a couple free designs as well. So here's my goal tonight, and the first thing I want to cover, okay? And I know a lot of you, those of you who are in here, okay, I know a lot of you have come to a lot of Wizard trainings over time, and a lot of you, this may be your first Wizard training, so I'm not going to go crazy. It's not going to be like crazy advanced skills that are going to make no sense to you, but those of you who have used the Wizard for a long time, you'll learn some new stuff as well and refresh on some other things. But one of the things that I've gotten a ton of questions about, probably over the last month, okay? And I said last week I was going to make a video on it, which I'm still going to do, but I figured I would cover it in tonight's training because I think it's something that's really going to help a lot of you guys. So, obviously, with all the craziness going on in the world right now, sports hasn't been as big of a thing. So, I know a lot of you that are running businesses have had to pivot your business a little bit and do different things, right? And I know a lot of you, and that's why we've been trying to show it with all the different tumbler stuff. And those of you who aren't doing tumblers yet, look into it seriously, because tumblers are just an addition to add on to t-shirts, to add on to everything, right? And if you're making a custom t-shirt for someone for a high school football team or baseball team or youth organization or whatever it is, well, guess what? They're probably going to that event with a drink or a tumbler, or they would get a high school design on it or whatever it is, right? So I've gotten a ton of questions as far as, and most of you haven't really figured out how to do it yet, but I want to walk you guys through it to show you how. So how many of you in here, because it's different, because remember, whenever we're doing these tumblers, we put the name vertical, we change it up, and it's a little bit different. So the mock-up side of it gets a little bit more difficult, right? How many of you in here that have the Wizard Corel have put those tumblers into the software? Let me know. Because I know some of you, at least probably 6 to 8 of you that are here tonight that I've seen already, are ones that have asked me to show you how to do it. And I know a few of you, I said, hey, I'll do it in the All-Star training as well, because it's going to be something that's super, super popular for you as well, because if you can show them exact mock-up of it, that makes a huge difference, right? So I see no, no, yes, I have, no, 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 yes, no, no, yes, have, hard time, yes. Now, if you're doing the full rhinestone design, obviously it's hard to get the, obviously, look on it. But to create the tumbler from scratch and get the actual tumbler to be not the tumbler design, right? But the tumbler to be in the software to click that button to create those mock-ups. So that's the first thing we're going to do. And I see a few of you are saying I've tried and failed, not sure how to do it. Okay, so I'm going to walk you through that first, and obviously it's going to help you with everything else as well. Okay, so when it comes to the tumblers, and do you guys want me, and let me know, because I can either do it the quick way or I can walk you through the process of like how I would get the tumbler, how I would get the tumbler prepared to put into the software. So do you want the whole process? I mean, the whole process will take an extra 5 minutes, but I'll go slow to walk you through it. So just let me know, whole process or quick and done. Let me know. The tumbler's the old way, yes, right? The full, okay, I see almost basically everybody here is saying to walk through the full process. Okay, so let's do it. So obviously the tumblers we've been using a lot lately are the Save a Cup tumblers. Okay, and let me flip my screen around here for you. All right, so these tumblers here, I'm going to show you how to get rid of the background the easy way on all of this stuff. Okay, now remember, if I'm going a little too fast or anything, just let me know. But also remember, you can go back and watch this at any time as well. And honestly, those of you who are All-Star members, the way that I'm recording these now, because remember, we used to do them where we couldn't see the chat and everything else. But the way that I'm doing them now on YouTube, it's for All-Star members only. Only you guys are allowed to, even if someone else has the link. If they're not an All-Star member, it's pretty cool. It doesn't even let them in. But you guys can also go back in that community tab and watch like last month's All-Star training too. So remember that. So here we go. We are on the Save a Cup website. I'm going to go to the skinny tumbler here. And let's just say I wanted to do the pink one. So I'm going to come over, click on the pink one. And now I'm going to right click, and a lot of websites may not let you do this. I'm just going to right click and save image. And I'm going to save this as the pink acrylic. Okay? Already exists, yes, so I hit save. Now, if for any reason it doesn't let you do a right click, which most websites honestly probably don't, what you could do and what I like to do is I like to use the snipping tool. Okay? So had it not let me save, I would have just opened up the snipping tool and hit new and then just snip this out like this right here and then save it. So that's an easy way. If it doesn't allow you to right click save as, just use that snippet tool and it's already on your computer if you're using a Windows based computer that comes free. All right, so now that we have that saved, okay, and I'm just going to copy it right now. I'm going to go to, and all of you guys know this website, any of you that have basically been to any of my trainings, Remove BG. How many of you guys here have used this website? Now, you don't have to use the paid version. I honestly have never paid a penny. The image isn't as perfect. It's not like a high resolution image, but it works and it gets it done. And I don't know if you guys knew this, but if you Control-C or copy something and you come to this website, you don't have to necessarily upload the image. Just hit Control-V as in Victor and it'll automatically paste it. And look at that. Everybody see that? It just hit that perfect and removed that white background. Okay, so then I'm going to hit download. It's going to download over here. You'll see my PNG file over here to the right hand side or the bottom left side. So when I open this up in my folder, oh, it opened it up to the side over here. When I open it up, it just goes right to my download files on my computer. So when I come back to CorelDRAW, I can literally just drag and drop that in there. Got it? It is. It's pretty awesome on your phone too, isn't it, Pilar? Now, the reason why I like the remove background one is you can actually go in and edit. So if it doesn't trace it perfect, you can go in and edit it. So I see a few of you asking why would you have to do that remove background if it already had a white background? And let me show you real quick. So if I had not done the remove background, okay, and let me just come over here and import this, okay? Both of these look, to all of you guys right now, basically the exact same, right? However, if I had a background back behind it, let's just say a blue background, and send it to the back, see the difference? This one that I saved from the website has a white background on it. This one has a transparent background, a PNG file. So if there's anything, when I'm doing my mock-ups or different stuff, it's not going to have anything back behind there, which is awesome, right? And that's the way you want all of your mock-ups. So one thing I like to do is I like to just not have the image this big. So I'll come over to the crop tool here and I'll just crop it a little bit closer. And I just basically cropped that up a little bit. All right, everybody with me so far? Give me a yes. Good? Okay, sweet. So right now this is 2 inches by 7 inches, which is good size, okay? And you can see, even though it's not perfect, it's got some pixelation in it, it's still going to look awesome to your customer, and it's obviously going to look realistic because it's the actual tumbler, right? So here is how, and those of you who don't know this, it may be confusing at first, but remember, you can go back and watch it if you get the wizard down the road or you just got the wizard. But my goal is I want to put this pink tumbler into the wizard now, okay? So I'm going to come over to the right side here, and I'm in the wizard, and I click on my mock-up creator, okay? Now, with my mock-up creator, I know that the text height, when I'm normally doing a design, is normally right around, from edge to edge, is right around 2 inches, okay? So here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to come out and see, create design placement right here. I'm going to make that 2 inches. So a lot of you, and this is where a lot of you were getting confused when you were doing this, okay? I did design width 2 inches. Okay, so that's going to be key, and you're going to have to remember that when you're creating your mock-up, and I'll show you, okay, once we get to that point. So first thing we want to do is create it, and we want it to be a front mock-up. So I'm going to hit Create Design Placement. That's going to throw this red box on the screen. And then I'm going to take this red box, and I'm going to decide what is going to be around 2 inches. And I'm going to say probably around right here is where I think is going to be, from the left to the right. I'm telling it that is 2 inches. So what that means is when I'm telling the wizard that, if I put a 1 inch wide design, it's going to basically center it about halfway in here. If I put a 2.5 inch wide design, it's going to go a little bit outside of this, okay? And this is the most confusing part to some, all right? So, left side to the right side, we're telling, even though, now look at, everybody look up here at the top. Don't pay attention to this at all, okay? That does not have to be 2 inches. Don't ever pay attention to your measurements when you're creating a design placement, because you're telling it that it's 2 inches based off of your design. Everybody with me on that? And that's probably the most confusing part, but you'll understand it when I show you the design. Okay? So, highlight both of them. Now, I don't have a folder yet for these Save a Cup tumblers. Okay? So, I'm going to come over here and I'm going to hit Add New Folder. And I'm going to go Save a Cup and click OK. There's my Save a Cup folder, and I'm going to save this one as pink acrylic 16 ounce. because they do have some different sizes. So pink acrylic 16 ounce. I've highlighted the entire thing, and then I'm going to hit Save Custom Product. All right? So product has been saved. And okay. So I'm done with that now. Now, let's forget about that for right now. But just to let you know, when I come over to my mock-ups, look what's in there now. There's my Save a Cup folder. So the cool thing is now that I have that Save a Cup folder in there, I can add all the other colors that I want. Remember, and those of you who are brand new and don't know the wizard or don't have it yet, you can put any product you want into the wizard, okay? Any product you want. Now, I want to show you, because I've had a lot of people asking questions as far as the different fonts. And I want to show you these fonts first, because I want to make sure that you guys who are wizard owners know the difference, okay? So, if you are a wizard owner, all of these different fonts right here, okay? If you currently own, let's say, the TRW Stadium font, or the Superscript font, or the Flutter font, the Cricut version of it doesn't make sense for you. Now, if you just had the Cricut version, that's fine. But the whole point of these Cricut versions are basically for the Design Space software, because they can't do what we're about to do in the wizard. Does that make sense to everybody? Cheek, you can run Boot Camp or Parallels and run the wizard. We have a lot of users who do. Okay? So I just want you guys to know that as we release these different fonts, just know if you already have the Siesta Key font, you don't need to also purchase the Siesta Key Shadow font. Got me? All right, awesome. Okay, Matt, on shirts and such, should we grab a white image as a rule? That's the only way to make it. That is correct, VY. Yes, to make it color changing, 100%. All right, so let's head back to CorelDRAW here. Now, yeah, Ronnie has a Mac and runs Parallels. Definitely. Okay, so I'm just going to grab a random name here, and I got Tanya, T-A-N-Y-A, T-A-N-Y-A. Now, there's a bunch of different ways to create these within the wizard, okay? One way is just to go, I want to use the Superscript font, and there it is. And I want this to be around, let's say, 2 inches. So there we go. There's my 2 inches. Now, I want to create a border or that background or the shadow around it with offset, contour. Everybody calls it different names, right? But when I want to create that within the wizard, there's a few different ways that I can do it, okay? One, and pretty easy way, if you're just creating a quick contour, the bottom right-hand side, I'm going to the Magic Boundary. I want it to have a contour, so I'm going to hit Magic Boundary, and there it is. Okay? Now, I'm going to hit Control-Z to go back. Everybody see this checkbox right here? If you don't have that checked, and I click Magic Boundary, can anybody tell me what the difference is? What happened this time versus when I clicked Contour? What was the difference of it? And this is where, again, these are big things for you guys to kind of understand and know, right? So, when I click Contour and I hit it, it does this. And I see some, yes, exactly. So, basically, if you don't click Contour, it's going to fill in all of these cavities, okay? So, these A's are going to fill in, and B's are going to fill in, and so on, all right? So, the reason why I didn't All-Star is because All-Star's question was, Matt, why didn't you create a boundary around the tumbler when creating the mock-up? Because I removed the background. Yes, 100% All-Star, that's why. because I used remove BG to remove the background, which basically did the same thing if you were to create the boundary and do the back minus front and get rid of it. All right? Now, if I said that boundary was a little bit too thick, I could just come down here and do, let's say, 0.05 magic boundary, and then it's a little bit thinner. If I wanted it to be thicker, I could go 0.1 magic boundary. Now it's a lot thicker, right? And honestly, even though we have the text effects to do stuff, I honestly, and those of you who are wizard owners, let me know. When you're creating these, do you normally create them through the text effects for like the tumblers like this, or do you create them over here in the live template editor? I do it in the live template editor, and mainly because I can kind of play around with it a little bit quicker. So what I mean by that is I go over and I go, boom, magic boundary, and then I want the HTV anything to be, let's say, 0.03, because I don't want that line to be as thick, okay? But I normally come over here and change the color of that as well, just so it's different. And then I'll go magic boundary there, and then I have my 3 layers. I use the live template editor, magic boundary, live template, more often, live template. Yeah, and it's just because you have so many different areas to work with, whatever you're doing, okay? So, here's the thing. My black layer, first layer, second layer, HTV anything. Or this could also be, and let me get rid of that, and I'll change it to a different color, move it to the front. This could also be vinyl shield as well, right? Then it's obviously going to be the top layer. Now what I want to do is I want to show you guys how we can show what this is going to look like on the tumbler. And that's the big thing, okay? That's the big thing. So, here we go. I'm going to come over here. I'm at 2 inches by 2.1 by 4.6. Let's go right around 2 inches. And I'm feeling good with that. I want the black. Now, I know that a lot of people run into this with the black on the Tanya right here. Is this good to send to the cutter right now? You guys let me know. Can I send this to the cutter right now? Oh, Matt, yes. Because Matt, and just so you guys know, you do need to be logged in, okay, to your account, because it only allows All-Star members to log in. Everybody's saying no, and we know why, right? Go to my wireframe, and I haven't welded that black part of Tanya yet. Right? So, when I click on this and weld it, now we're good. And then honestly, what I would do, this little part right here, double click and get rid of it. Clean it up. Okay? So I double clicked and that allowed me to edit the nodes. Now we want to say, let's go white glitter, because I'm come over here to my Caesar glitter, and I'm going to go white glitter, and maybe we'll make it a little bit even more texture, go small. And then I'm going to go with a, what do you think, a cherry glitter? Let's try this pink glitter here. That pink's a little bit too light. I kind of like the cherry a little bit better. Hot pink looks pretty good. Let's go with the hot pink. So, if I were to go to mockups right now and go to Save a Cup and go to pink acrylic, and it's pretty cool, it shows the preview, right? Is this going to look good? Let me know. Is this going to look good on the mockup? What's your thought? Because remember the way we made it. What do you think is going to happen? Right? I see you guys getting it. 100%. Because watch, and I'll do it the wrong way first. Watch. When I take this and I do my mock-up, it's going to do that. Right? Now, Control Z and go back. Let's take this, let's rotate it, highlight, and mock up, and now we get it to drop in there perfect. Remember, the width is 2 inches, so we had to rotate it to get it to what it was going to be 2 inches. And then as we're within here, we can change this to different colors right here on it as well. Okay, so I can look and show the customer all the different colors. Like maybe they like the purple. I mean, the purple looks pretty awesome. So maybe they're good with the purple, the white glitter, and the pink. But how much nicer is this, again, to be able to send them an actual mock-up of the actual tumbler and the actual glitter colors as well. And then, of course, we go back to page 1. We come over here and we say, okay, I have 21 cents worth of rainbow white glitter, 19 cents in hot pink glitter for a total of 40 cents. Got it? V, what was your question? Let me see what VY's question was. Yes, when you click the contour button right above that and slightly to the left, are the 2 squares tinier showing contour to the inside or the outside? Oh, I got you. I see where you are, Pilar. Thank you. All right. So that price does include the waist. Yes, you'll see when I click on the price here at the bottom, it includes on each side a 1/4 inch margin of waist. So our weed boxes, we normally do a 1/4 inch. So it's taking into account that. Got it? All right. So good with that there. Everybody feel pretty comfortable now on how to add. I mean, it's super freaking simple, right? How to add a tumbler, and you can add whatever tumblers you want, and just whatever cups you want, coffee cups, mugs, obviously t-shirts, everything else to easily drop in there. Got it? And the biggest thing is getting the measurements right. So measuring kind of the width of that cup, so when you create that red box, it's proportionate. Sweet. Awesome. I see everybody saying yes, and obviously you can go back and watch it as well. Okay, so now I want to go into a little bit and just something basic here for the rhinestone editing part of it. Okay, so I'm going to come over here to my basic shapes. Valentine's Day is coming up, so we'll look into making a quick heart for you guys. And a full rhinestone fill heart that you can make into a rhinestone decal. And what I'll actually do is I will do a version that has, do you want to do a version that has HTV as well? So it has heat transfer vinyl and then also the rhinestones. I don't want to, and here's the thing, those of you guys that are here and haven't come to a training before, my goal, honestly, is always to try to do the most difficult thing. Okay? So any of you that haven't been to my trainings before, I want to show you the more, like, I promise you, I could have, before this training, I could have set up a perfect size heart to make it to where I click a button and it basically fills it perfect. But what's going to happen is you're going to get a customer that wants a different size heart, and it's not going to fill it perfect, and then you're going to be lost, right? So my goal is to show you during every training like a customer's coming to you and it to be more real world, all right? So let's just guesstimate and say I want to make sure that it doesn't fill it perfect, but I also want to grab this. So let's take my heart here and I'm going to go, let's say 3 inches isn't bad. This is 3.2 by 3.3. So I'm going to, first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to add a little border around it. Okay. Now I see some of you saying magic tab. So watch this. If I click on the magic tab, and I do a stone outline, I saw a few of you say that. Here's what would happen. Stone outline is going to do this. Okay? Is that what we want? So look what that did. It drew a heart, it added the stones there. It has this inside part. That's honestly exactly what we want, right? But we still got to fill it. But my point being is I just did that part in one step with one click. Okay? And I'll show you what I mean by that. Watch. What most people would have done when doing this is they would have came down here and they would have created a contour, let's say 0.17, and created that boundary around it. Then they would have come to here and gone to place and fill, outside, one island, add stones, island fill. Okay? Then they would have had to come over here and clear their paths, and then they would be basically at the same spot where we are. So that's kind of the little bit longer way to do it, where here's the way I did it. Let me delete it all and show you again. I have the heart. I go to the magic tab. I hit stone outline. Now, if I go stone outline there, it's going to go along the outside part, okay? So it really depends. Now, stone knockout, oh, sorry, I went outside of that. Stone knockout is when you have at least 2 layers, okay? The outline with a contour is going to add that contour way to the outside of it. And I'm going to go over the stone outline with contour in just a minute as well with you guys, because that one, any of you guys that haven't used that before, how many of you have used, like with a word, the stone outline with contour? Let me know. How many of you here, stone outline with contour? I'm trying to look back at some of the questions here as well. Here's a trick. You can do an inner contour of this heart and then make it into a new rhine. Yes, you definitely can. Definitely can. 100%. Yep. All right. So let me come back to my place and fill over here. And honestly, that's a great way to do it. Okay? I see a lot of you saying no on the contour. Oh, you guys are going to love it when we get to that design. So, under our magic tab, okay, stone outline with contour, we have the stone knockout, and I'll show you what that one is, but it isn't really kind of what we're doing tonight. But, yes, where I got the heart, look at the left, I see some of you asking. Where I got the heart was over here, okay? On the left-hand side, you go to basic shapes, and then up at the top, it might be this regular shape right here off the start. You just go and switch it to heart. And then you can just drag the heart to whatever size you want. Everybody see that? Sorry, so if I do stuff like that that's too quick, just say, hey, where did you get the, like some of you did, just ask me, where did you get the heart from, okay? Okay, so, again, that's going to throw it on the outside of that area there, okay? So it really depends, again, on where you want different areas to go. So watch this. When I come over to my place and fill, see the inside right here? And this is honestly something that most of you, this is going to be something that is honestly brand new to, I think, every single one of you. You guys let me know if you know this. Because if you do know this, you figured it out without me teaching you, because it's something that we kind of secretly added to the wizard probably about 2 or 3 months ago. But I didn't want to send out a whole update about it because I was going to show it in a video. But watch this, because this is what will happen to a lot of you guys off the start. See the inside and the outside right here under the place and fill tab? Everybody with me? Remember when I say you're going to learn at least one thing new in every training? I guarantee you this is the one thing for anybody in here that has learned everything else we're going to cover. Watch. Outside, right? When you go to the Magic tab is running what it's going to do off of the Place and Fill tab. Okay? So, what I mean by that is when I do a stone outline, if I have the Place and Fill set to outside, watch what happens. Stone outline. Where did it throw the stones? It threw the stones to the outside. Okay, and that's what most of you were probably going to email or ask me about and say, hey, Matt, it kept doing this. But watch the difference now. When I change the Place and Fill to the inside, and I'm not using any of these buttons, okay? Under the Magic tab, when I hit Stone Outline, it creates the stone to the inside of that outline that it created. Does that make sense? So it's actually not really doing a stone outline. It's doing the reverse of the stone outline. Okay? But what that does is it gives us exactly what we want right here. Right? It's pretty cool, right? Okay, so think of that when you're doing, let's say, something like this, okay? Let me go, and I'm just going to use a random letter just to see. If I have a B right here, okay, and I want to go around this B, if I have the Place and Fill outside, Magic tab, Stone Outline, it's just going to add the outline around that path, which is exactly what we want, right? Now, if I were to add that, let me Control Z and go back here. If I were to take this here, again, okay, remember, stone outline's going just outside of it. Control Z and go back. And now I'm going to go inside and Magic tab and Stone Outline. See how it throws it just perfectly within that path. So it's something that you can use a lot. It's just a matter of knowing what it does, right? Okay, so now that we have this, let's just say, and I'm going to turn this to like a gray, okay? And I'm going to turn this to, let's say, a red. So this is what we're working with. This is what we're working with right here. So obviously these black outlines, I know a lot of you know this, but I always want to try and explain for everybody that's new. To get rid of those black little strokes right there, I just right-click on the X. And that will get rid of those. Because you don't want those in your mock-ups that you're going to show customers, right? Now, we got to fill this red heart, okay? So I'm going to just change it so my stones are at least a different color so they're easy to see. I'll go to amethyst stones. I'm going to take this heart here. I'm going to go Place and Fill inside, and I want to fill it all the way to the inside, so I'm going to go 0 islands, which means it's going to break down until they collide, okay? So if I go 0 islands to the inside and island fill, okay, which it filled it pretty good. We got a little bit of work to do, but what do you guys think? And let me show you here and here, okay? I think it looks pretty good. I think it would look awesome if we were putting it onto the HTV and the HTV anything. I'm not as big of a fan about the spacing right there. Does everybody see that? So, it's not bad. I'm just not as big of a fan about the spacing between here. So, what do I do to fix that spacing? Does anybody know? Because right now, it's normally set at specific. So anytime you have it set to auto, that means, hey, just make it a good spacing to where it's spaced off and what we usually use, okay? But because we're using multiple colors here and multiple layers, what I can do, the contour spacing, if I change that, let's just change it to 0.09. I know this isn't going to be the perfect fit, but I just want to show you what's going to happen. So I come over to my island fill, and there's my 0.09. Let's Control Z and go back, and let's go to 0.19. And island fill, that goes the other way. That added more spacing, right? And I did a crazy amount because I wanted you to see which way it's going. So what would you guys guesstimate is a pretty good size? And to get rid of it each time, I'm just hitting Control Z. So 0.09 was a little bit too much, right? So let's try like a 0.05, okay? And click on the red, island fill. That's looking a little bit better, maybe a little bit too close. So I will go with a maybe 0.06 might be our magic number. And I think 0.06 looks pretty good. So watch when I move the red. Now I think that's looking pretty clean, right? And you can get even more detailed, like VY is saying, and go 0.065. Now, the little part where it's going over the red a tiny bit right here, I'm pretty picky about this stuff, so I would probably try to fix that tiny little bit. Do you guys know how you would fix that? So first thing I want to do is clear my paths. So I'm going to come over here to clear paths, and that got all those paths out. So now I can edit the stones individually when I want to. Okay? But to get the red out a little bit further, honestly, the way that I would do it quickly, click on the red heart, come over to our magic boundary over here, and let's try a 0.02. Magic boundary, and I'm going to change this to a different color just so we can see the difference. 0.02 is a tiny bit too much, so I'm going to go 0.015. Magic boundary, and that looks beautiful. Everybody see how I made that slight tiny little adjustment? But now it's going to fit in there perfect, right? So it still would have looked great even without doing that. But if you have the ability to fix it in 15 seconds, why not? Because once the design's done, you don't have to create it again, right? So everybody pretty comfortable with that? Now, we got some editing to do here, right? Some of the stuff I will manually fix, but then other things, okay? To get the red out, I just clicked on the red and hit delete. Now, my spacing is going to be a little bit difficult in some of these areas, okay? Because I know a stone is not going to fit in between most of these spots. So there's a few different things that I can do. One thing I can do is, if I wanted to, I could enlarge the whole design a little bit, and then if I came over and resized just my stone size, they're still at 0.135 inches, okay? What, do you guys know what it does when I do that? Watch. I'll over-exaggerate it. If I click there, and then this button right here, replace all stones with selected size chosen. You guys see what it did? It changes all of those circles to make them back to that 0.135 inches. So obviously that's not what we want there, right? So I'm going to make it just a tiny bit bigger, because especially anybody that might have a cameo or a cricket, you might not want your spacing to be quite as tight, right? But it's an easy adjustment to do that. Now, next thing we want to do is we want to adjust these a little bit. So there's a few different ways to do it, okay? I always like to almost make it a mess first. And what I mean by making a mess is I'm going to click on the purple. I'm going to select all of the same color. So it selected all the purple stones, okay? And then I'm going to come down here and I'm going to merge overlapping stones. So what that's going to do, any of these stones that are overlapping, it's going to merge them together, okay, and turn them into one stone. See what it did there? Now it's time to clean it up a little bit. So, few different ways. I'm holding shift and clicking through this, and then I'm going to hit magic respace, okay? And it's going to do that. And then just clear your path. So, what the magic respace button does is all of the stones that you click on, it's going to draw a line between them all and then space them all perfectly. And that's what allows you to fill in these spots. Okay? So, here's the biggest thing, and I promise it's going to happen to you guys. Okay? You're going to shift click on stones, and then you're going to click on something weird. Like you're going to mistakenly click on the gray heart back behind it. You're going to click on Magic Respace. It doesn't seem like it's doing a ton, but it's doing a ton within the software, okay? And Corel is going to shut down or crash just because a bunch of craziness is going on. Because as you're learning it, and I'm sure you guys can probably all confirm, as you're learning all these buttons, when you click wrong sequences, Corel's like, what do I do now? Right? So, you know what you do? As you're getting along a little bit, you come over here and you hit save. Okay? So as you're going through stuff, just every once in a while, come over and save your design. Or put your auto save on. Because the worst thing is when you're working on a design for 10, 15 minutes, an hour, whatever it is, right? And then Corel just blows up. Exactly, Herm. All right, so watch what I'm going to do. I'm going to come here. I'm going to shift, click, 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 click. And I can go all the way down as far as I want. And when I hit the respace, and then clear my paths. Same thing around here. And all it's doing is it's just distributing the spacing throughout all of those areas. So there's obviously not as much. Like here, boom, let's come all the way down here and magic respace. And then even if some areas are too close, what I would do honestly with this one is just manually move it a tiny bit there. Now, I'm looking at this circle, this circle, this circle. Those are my middle points. So I'm working off of that. And what I mean by that is this. Watch. If I'm working off of those, and I have this to here, what I can do, I'm going to select all of the blue, okay? And I'm going to lock those. Okay? The buttons I can't make bigger. I might be able to a little bit, but it might take... Is that a little bit better for you guys? Is that the buttons you were saying, Claire, for these buttons? So, here's the reason why I locked all of the blue ones. I'm going to highlight all of this and delete it. And I'm going to highlight all of this, hold Control, drag it over, move this to right there. And now all I have to edit is basically one spot. Everybody see what I did there? And then I just probably need to fit one more stone right in this area. And we're good to go. So, what a lot of people do is they edit both sides. When you have a symmetrical design, do one side, get that side clean, and then just duplicate it to the other side. Make sense? Because if it's a symmetrical heart, obviously it's just going to fit in there perfect. So, now that we have that, just making sure there's no more overlapping stones. Now, if I hit, watch this. Yes, and always, especially when you get, but if I highlighted everything and I hit merge overlaps, watch what's going to happen. See how it got rid of the gray layer? Because it looked at it and said the purple stones are overlapping the gray, so delete it. So I'm going to click on the purple, select same color, and then merge overlapping stones. So this is a pretty nice size right here, 3.3 by 3.5 inches. You want to throw this onto a computer laptop, let's say. I'm going to go to glitter white. I'm going to go glitter red, select the same color. I'm going to use red rhinestones, select the same color, and oh, I still got that locked. Let me unlock the blue. Click on the blue, select same color and crystal rhinestones, highlight it, and I'll just throw it on the back window of a car just to give you an idea. Go to mockups. I'm going to go to TRW, and let's do, ooh, do I have a face mask in here? Let's see. There you go, face mask. Simulate stones. Let's see if I still have it in there. Yeah, and this is one of the smaller face masks. So it's just going to throw it right there. And you'll see it's going to simulate all the stones and everything as well. And then also, when you click on your money sign, it's going to come through. I got 15 cents worth of crystal stones, 94 cents worth of ruby maroon stones, 26 cents in rainbow white, 22 cents in red, for a total of $1.57. What else we got? Exactly, yeah, 100%. And then once you have this, very, very easy to obviously change it to whatever color you want. But can we create a dam and fill the stones in only half the heart? Then double. Yeah, you could VY, but it's just as easy to, by building a dam and doing all that, it's honestly easier just to highlight half of them and delete them. Pilar, great question. Is there a difference between the magic respace and the distribute spacing? Yes. Just magic respace is built for the rhinestones. Let me save this because I'm going to give you guys this file. So what I mean by that, let me just grab. Does everybody know how I did that so quickly? Who knows? So, magic respace, and remember, you don't, when you're using the magic respace button, you don't always have to hold shift and click on each one. So here, if I highlighted all of them, the key to the magic respace is you always have to click on the last stone. Okay? And then magic respace, and it's going to do that. Yes, space bar. I'll show you that trick in a minute. Now, Pilar, if I did distribute spacing in the edit tab, it would do this. Okay? So distribute spacing isn't going to keep it within that perfect line. It's just going to distribute the spacing evenly and vertically, basically. And it moves different ones depending. Now, let me show you guys the trick of how I duplicated those. A lot of people go left click, right click, let go. Left click, right click, let go. A lot of people go Control C, Control V, move it. Control C, Control V, move it. A lot of people come down here and they do add a stone. And then they go click, click, click. Oh, I got crystal stones. Click, click, click. But then they forget to turn it off, right? They forget to turn it off, and then they go to move something, and it adds another stone, another. Who does that? I do it all the time, so I know you guys do. And then you got to go turn it off, right? Well, what I was doing is this. Whatever you're holding and moving it around, I'll even do it with my heart. Whatever you're holding and moving around, hit the space bar. Watch this. Pretty sweet, isn't it? So it's really cool when you're working with stones because if you just want to view or add a couple stones in different areas, let's just say stones were missing there. Watch. I can just grab it and go spacebar, 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 let go. Right? I know you like that design. All right, cool. And now what I love about this, because of what we did and took time to do it and did it right, Now, if I wanted to make just a rhinestone decal, and let me just change the color of this just so you can see it. That's a good looking heart even just as a rhinestone decal. I was clicking the space bar each time. So listen, click. So wherever I'm holding it, when I click the space bar, is where it drops it. Sweet? All right, good to go. I did save that. Okay, good. All right, let's close out our heart. Now, I want to show you another thing we can do here. Okay? Another thing we can do here, and this one's pretty cool. Okay? And I've shown some of you guys this. Some of you who have come to some of the bigger trainings have seen this. But this is where I'm going to get a little bit more advanced in the editing side of it. So, when I edit stuff, and some of you who have come to a lot of the other trainings, most people, okay, especially when they first start working with rhinestones, all right? When they first start working with rhinestones, what have I hopefully helped you guys understand? Do I always edit the rhinestones, or do I edit the design when I'm working with rhinestones? Because honestly, when everybody's starting, probably 100% of people, it's always about editing the rhinestones. And you'll see what I'm talking about when I get into this design, okay? So, check this out. First thing I'm going to do is I love this font. I'm just going to use a different L for the love. So this is the superscript font, but when you're using the wizard, you have all the alternate characters as well. So, here's what I mean by what I was just saying, okay? I'm going to get this design out to about, let's say, 9 inches, all right? And let me resize my workspace. So I'm out at about 9 inches right now. Now, what my goal is I want to add rhinestones around the outside of this design, okay? And then I want another layer of, let's say, heat transfer vinyl around that, but I want the rhinestones to be pressed directly to the shirt, because we can't layer, even though we can do it on tumblers, okay, we can't put rhinestones directly on glitter for t-shirts. Everybody understands that, right? So, check this out. And this is, again, where as you know different softwares and as you know kind of how to work with designs, they can become a lot easier. So, I'm going to come over here and I'm just going to use my black diamond stones. Now, there's a lot of things we can do for creating the design. I don't even want to show you the whole hard way, but like go to here to the outside, turn this to. So if I wanted to do this, I could come over here, I could do island fill. I got a lot of editing going on there. And then I got to highlight this. I got to clear my path. I got to take this path. I got to come over to my magic boundary. Let's do maybe a 0.018. Oh, larger design, right? So I got to go 0.18. That went a little bit outside of it. Then I got to send that to the back. And then I got to take this gray layer and let's go maybe 0.01. And then I got to change this one here to, let's say, a blue. Then I got to take the blue, shift click on the gray, do a back minus front, and now I got a lot of editing to do. All right? Everybody followed along with me? Everybody's good with it and knows how to do that now, right? No shot, right? Don't worry, we made it easy for you. So, here's what I would do. I would go to my Magic tab. I would click on Love, and I'm going to do Stone Outline with Contour. Boom. There we go. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to evaluate my design. Okay? I got to work on my spacing a little bit here on my E. All right? Pretty good around there, pretty good in there, pretty good in there. I kind of like that there. My O's pretty good there, pretty good there. Between my O and my V, I got a little bit of an issue too. So I would say my biggest, and this is what most people would do, okay? They would take this, they would merge overlaps, and then they would be good with that there, and then they would be good with this there, they would be good with that there, and they would call it a day. Okay? That's what most people would do. Does that look good there? Doesn't look great, right? So, even right here, doesn't really look that great. I'm going to Control Z and go back and show you what I mean by edit the design versus always editing the stones. Okay? So, I'm going to come over here. I'm going to weld this together, double click, highlight that part of my E. I'm going to go down, down. I'm just hitting the arrows. Right, 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 down, 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 down. See what I'm doing? I'm adding more spacing between here. I would do a different design. Hey, I like the honesty. Okay, now I need a little bit more spacing between the O and the V, right? So I'm going to just draw around this, and I just hit my right arrow a little bit. Okay? Now, I'm going to click on this. I'm going to do a stone outline with contour, and let's reevaluate. Look how much better that looks. Okay? That's going to be an easy fix there. That spacing looks good there. That I like how both of them kind of hit it the same. That looks pretty good there. I'm happy with that. This little red part right there, I would honestly probably just get rid of that. So, let's see if I did this. Control Z to go back again. And I'm going to double click. So I'm going to add a node. Okay? And then I'm going to bring this up just a tiny bit. See how I edited that? And now, because the E, the O still look very similar, right? I didn't edit it much, but stone outline with contour. Now those stones are spaced better. I'm not having to delete as much of the red. Okay? Now, look how much editing I have in this design. Not very much at all, right? This little spot, I would probably get rid of that. That red, I would keep it there just in case. If it weeds, great. If it doesn't, okay. Inside the O there, that's big enough to where it would weed. Inside the V, that's big enough to where it would weed. I'm not worried about either of those. And then this part right here, I'm just going to split those up just a tiny bit. And I'm feeling pretty good with this. Good there, and we're sweet. Now, looking at this more, I think I would get rid of that red. That's a really small area there. Okay, so now what I'm going to do, just to make sure there's no overlaps, like I obviously see right here, and that's why I left that one. Select same color, merge overlaps. And then it's going to get rid of any overlaps. Okay? So, I don't know. I don't know if I would get rid of that part of the O right there. What do you think? There or there? I think because I have the V in there, I would keep that part of the O. Clean there, clean there, clean there. Here, we may want to, yeah, I probably can add a stone there. Yeah, this O, the left side of the O is a tough one, right? I agree. And we might even be able to get away with filling it a little more. So I added another stone in there. Okay? And then what I would actually do is pull down my spacing this way a little bit. Probably like that. Okay? Now, here's what personally I love. So 9.8 inches were a perfect size for this design, right? So let's just say we're putting it on a white shirt and we want to do, I don't know, a pink and a purple. So let's do maybe a purple glitter there. Let's do a pink glitter for that part, and then we're going to do some crystal rhinestones. Let's resize our workspace and throw it on a women's long sleeve shirt. So I go to mock-ups, I go to women's, I go to women's long sleeve front, simulate stones, click on my women's shirt, and there's my design ready to go. And that's I mean, what do you guys think? That is a freaking super clean looking design, okay? And what's awesome about this is now I could say, oh, they want to go on a black shirt. Let's change this shirt to a black shirt, and there we go. If they wanted the glove to be red, there we go. The awesome part is even having the love of red on a black shirt, okay, because we accent it with the stones, it still really pops, doesn't it? Now, here's one of my favorite part about designs like this. One of my favorite parts about designs like this that most people don't realize. How many of you realize that this is technically like 5 or 6 designs in one? And here's the reason why I say that. Watch. If I wanted to, I love doing this part. Watch this. Let's get rid of the purple, get rid of the pink, highlight that, click on my women's long sleeve shirt. That's a good, I mean, is that not a great looking design right there? Just a single row of stones? So, most people don't think of it like that. They don't think that it could just be a rhinestone design only. That's a nice looking rhinestone design right there. A clean rhinestone design. So remember back here, and let me show you where I was at. Do you guys remember back at this part of the design? Let me go back a little bit further. I'm just hitting Control Z to go back each time. Remember back at this part of the design where I said I want to have 2 rows here? I want to make sure that there's 2 rows here. I want to make sure there's 2 rows here. Right? Because I was thinking ahead of time, and I wanted to make sure if I wanted to use just rhinestones, it would still look clean. If this went into and merged into one row, it would be harder to see the O with the rhinestone only design. Do you guys see what I'm saying? So I was thinking about this design as multiple designs as I was creating it. Does that make sense? So of course, you could also do this. I could take this, and I could make both of them just a red glitter, right? And I could come over here and say, I want just this onto this shirt. That's a nice looking design as well. I could do it to where I just want not this outline, and I just want this to be in my design. And I wanted this to go on a black shirt. So, click there, and let's change this to a black shirt. And that's a good looking design. So here's the big reason, everybody, okay, and this is huge, okay? Here's the big reason why I'm showing you all of these. So watch this. Let me come back here, because every one of us, okay, every one of us, you are going to run into, and I'm sure all of you guys know this, different customers that are going to say, oh, that's too expensive. Oh, I'm not going to spend that much money and whatnot, right? Every one of us are going to run into that. So the way that I always fixed that problem is doing something like this. Watch. I got my shirt, and we're going to go with a black shirt, right? Now, if I had another shirt over here, but this shirt is just that. And maybe, I don't know, maybe it's white. And then I had another shirt over here that's an option for them. And this one is just this. And then I had another option for them. And I'm just duplicating each one. And that option is just this. And then I had another option for them. And that option is just the rhinestones. So that's where I was saying. You have technically all of these different options with just this one design. You got your one color glitter vinyl, quickest design to make. Hey, depending on what shirt you put it on, right? This might be, because it's not custom, might be a $15 shirt in glitter vinyl. Now you add the second color. Maybe you just bumped it up to $17.50 or $20, okay? Now you have a just one rhinestone design. Hey, maybe that's $22, $22.50. Now you have glitter with rhinestones. Maybe that one's $25. Now you have two colors of glitter with rhinestones. Maybe that one's $30. I'm telling you guys right now, this was the best thing that ever worked for me in my business when I was doing all of the finished product. If I could give at least 3 different versions of, I never called it cheap, just an inexpensive version, kind of a regular version, and then when I got crazy, I used to call it a mega bling. So if it was like a lot of rhinestones or a lot of work, that was my mega bling version. But if you can offer those 3 versions or those 4 versions or 5 versions, now they're, you know what? If you only have $15, $17 to spend, hey, I got a shirt for you. It's not going to look nearly as good as this shirt, right? But if you only have $15 to spend, here's your shirt. You want to spend $30, hey, now you get the Mac Daddy shirt. And again, pricing's going to vary in every area, but having options, okay? Now, when I say options, I don't mean options by choose 50 different styles of shirts and 60 different rhinestone colors and 80 colors of vinyl. I mean options on their pricing, because I'm telling you guys right now, if you only offered, and you guys let me know, if you only offered this version right here, and you tried to sell it for, let's say, $28, okay, on a basic t-shirt, how many of your customers would be like, oh, you know what, that's too expensive? Say you're at $28, $30. Because remember, it's not custom, it's just saying the word love. But most are going to say, oh man, that's too expensive. But it's all in their head. I'm telling you guys, it's psychological. If you can offer them all of these other versions, because if they say, oh wow, I don't have that, I only have $20, right? Well, I got your $20 version. You can get this one for $20, or you can get this one for, And here's the biggest reason why, okay? Here's the biggest thing I love is, let's say we sold this, because both of these look good, right? And this would honestly be a pretty popular one on the left here. We don't have, and let me give you an idea of what you have in stone cost on this. On this design here, you're going to have about, if you're buying, I think I have it based off around 100 gross of the Korean low lead stones. You're going to be looking at about 89 cents worth of stones. Okay? 89 cents worth of stones. Now, when you're doing rhinestones, how much do you have in Magic Flak template material? How much cost for a design? And let's just see, the size of the design is 5.6 inches by 9.4 inches. What would you guesstimate your Magic Flak template cost is? What do you think? Now, I see a lot of you, maybe $2, maybe 75 cents, maybe $1, maybe $3, right? So this is the biggest thing. Let me flip around here real quick. So when you have your Magic Flak template material, let me grab, here. I got this one I did the other day. And you should not leave it on your workstation like I just did. But check this out. This one right here. All right? Now, this is probably around the same size. Okay? I might have, let's say you bought Magic Flak by the foot. Okay? And let's say it's $6. Okay? Do I really have $6 in cost on this love design that's not customized? And obviously not 6, because I didn't use the full 12 by 12, but let's just say 2. Let's say $2. Do I really have $2 in cost or $3 in cost? I do, right? I do have $3 in cost, but remember, this is not heat transfer vinyl. So when you see you have $3 in heat transfer vinyl cost and you press it to a shirt, that heat transfer vinyl is gone, right? You used up that $3. Magic Flak, I could make 1,000 of these love designs, of these love shirts out of this one template, right? So the first shirt you make might be $2 in cost. As soon as you make a second shirt, it went down to $1 in cost. As soon as you make a third shirt, it goes down. A fourth shirt, it goes down. So let's just say, if we were saying it's $3 in cost, okay, $3, and let's say you made 25 of those shirts, now you have 12 cents in Magic Flak cost. Well, what if you use that template for 2 years or 3 years, and you've made 200 of those designs? Your $2 in Magic Flak cost now went to 1 cent in material cost. Does that make sense? So whenever you're thinking of your Magic Flak cost, the best way, and this is the way I always used to do it, if it's a custom name that you're never going to use again, chances are you have $2 in cost. If it's anything that you can possibly reuse, just off the start, just kind of guesstimate. Okay, I'm doing 10 of these designs for the 10 moms, all right? Well, if I'm doing 10 of them and I got $2 in Magic Flak cost, I really have 20 cents in Magic Flak cost. So that's the biggest thing when you're thinking of Magic Flak. And remember, hot fix tape. Okay? hot fix tape on a simple one color love design like this, and I'll change the color just so you can see it better. I bet you I could get away with 8 to 10 uses of the same piece of hot fix tape for a single color design. Oh yeah, shorts. I was just at Jackson's baseball game till probably 6:30 tonight, and shorts and a t-shirt. We're in Florida. It's actually a cold front coming in tonight. It's supposed to get down to like 60 tomorrow. That's like snowsuit. Okay, so the other thing, and let me go back and show you the design again. The other thing with this design is when you're looking at the two of them here, okay? Even though I don't technically, let's just say I had an extra $1 in cost in glitter, right? The red glitter and the pink glitter. Where is my big cost in the difference between these two shirts? Who can tell me? Why do I need to charge a lot more for this one than I do this one, or I do this one? Where is most of my actual business cost coming in? 100%, you guys got it. 100%. I see almost every one of you, okay? Don't think about the rhinestones, okay? Again, what did we have in rhinestone cost? Like 80 cents or something? Let me see. So, I had 89 cents in rhinestone cost. Don't think of your stones. Don't think of your heat transfer vinyl. In this business, most of your cost, most of the time, is going to come in your time, in your labor cost. Okay? I'm telling you right now, if I had this template, this love template, if I had this already cut, already had the template, and a customer came in and I had the shirt in stock, if any one of you came in and said, I want that on a white shirt and I want pink stones, I guarantee you I can make that in under 5 minutes. And that's finding the template and everything. Under 5 minutes. This one right here, if you came into my store, okay, no, not the cost of the shirts, again, because the cost of the shirt is nothing as far as time involved, right? You're just ordering a shirt for, let's say, $3 online, and you're charging the customer for that. So yes, you have that cost, but your shirt isn't going to vary where your time is. So what I mean by that, if you came in and wanted this design 2 months later or 2 days later, I've put away the red glitter, I've put away the pink glitter. I still have the template, but now I need to find this file on my computer, okay? Then I need to get this template. I need to find the red glitter. I need to load the red glitter into my cutter. I need to cut the red glitter. I need to load the pink glitter into the cutter. I need to cut the pink glitter. I need to weed the red glitter. I need to weed the pink glitter. I need to press the red glitter. I need to press the pink glitter. Now I need to go and I need to brush in the stones, hot fix tape, and then press the stones last. What do I need to do with this one? Brush in the stones, hot fix tape, and press. Just pick what color stones I want. I don't have to touch my software. I don't have to touch my vinyl cutter because this is already done. So that's what I'm saying. I'm talking 5 minutes of labor versus, honestly, I'm going to say it would take most people at least, I'm going to go with 25 minutes. What do you guys think? I'm going to go with 25 minutes on this one. And here's the reason why. Is with this, okay, you always don't just put for that 25 minutes that I'm saying, or a half hour. Don't just think that your red glitter's already and your pink glitter's, like, you got to go over and you got to find your red glitter and find the file and find the pink glitter and get the file and get it cut ready and this and that, right? So that's why you're charging more. Like, yes, the design looks nicer, but I would love, without a doubt, I'm telling you guys, without a doubt, I would much rather sell 100 of this shirt at $20 than 100 of this shirt at $30. What do you guys think? What would you rather do? Because I'm going to be able to make 100 of this shirt at, say, 5 minutes. Now, if we're making 100 of this one, obviously everyone's not going to take 25 or 30 minutes because I'm going to be able to cut out multiples of the red, multiples of the pink, and so on. But this is a one color, one brush, hot fix tape, press it. Versus cut, weed, press the red. Cut, weed, press the pink. Brush in the stones, hot fix tape, press the stones. So don't always think that selling the more expensive shirt is the best option, okay? Your best option is your best margins. Knowing your margins is knowing your labor cost and all of that. Does that make sense? So, getting into that, one more thing I want to try here just to see, okay? Let me actually go back to my main page here. I'm going to Control Z, back a few steps. Do I have the stones? Okay, so here's what I want to actually do just to see. I have red glitter, I have my crystal stones, and I have my pink glitter. I'm going to highlight this design, and I'm going to come over here and right-click on my money sign. And I didn't charge anything for the setup and design, whatnot. Retail price of the finished product, we're going to call it $30. What percent discount are you providing for the customer? None. I'm just going to say blank. We'll call it a Bella shirt. And let's just say the blank cost is $3, okay? And hourly rate, let's say it's a $12 an hour employee, and it takes, if we're making a bunch of them at a time, we might be able to get away with 15 minutes. I'm going a little bit longer for some of you that are newer as well, so let's just call it 15 minutes. Total quantity being produced, let's say we're making 50 of these shirts, okay? Overhead cost per month, we'll keep it something simple. We'll say you're working out of the house, you got $200 in overhead cost a month, and you're making 200 items. So we got $1 in overhead cost per product, all right? So as I do that, and I come over and price this out, it's going to come through and look at my red glitter, look at my pink glitter, everything else, okay? So when I look at this, my total order is $1,500, okay? And I just want to compare the numbers so you can see. I have $499.93 in cost. That's with labor cost and everything, okay? Which means I'm making $80 per hour, my business, on this, okay? And then I'm going to make on this job $1,000. But look how long it's going to take me. 12 and a half hours to complete this. Okay? So, let's close that down now. Let's click on here where we're just using the stones. And let's right click, run through the same thing. But now instead of 15 minutes, if we already have the template out there and we already have the hotfix tape, I bet you we can probably make this design in about 3 minutes because it's just brush, hotfix tape, press. Template's already there. Brush, hot fix tape, press. Brush. Pretty easy. So I'm going to go down to 3 minutes. Same amount, same overhead, same everything, but my retail price went down to $20. Okay, I'm not able to sell that as much. Now when I price this out, let's see where we are and see if I was right. Check it out. Retail price, 20 bucks, 50 shirts. It's going to take me 2.5 hours to make 50 shirts now, versus 12.5 hours. My order's only $1,000 versus $1,500. My material cost is $274, but look what I'm making per hour. You guys see that? So that's freaking insane, is it not? So even though technically you're not making it, we were going to make $1,000 on the 2 colors of glitter with stones. Okay? We were going to make $1,000 on that job. But selling the $20 shirt that we can make a lot quicker, now we're going to make $725 in 2.5 hours. Remember we were going to make $80 an hour before? Who in here, you guys would probably be okay making $290 an hour. I would guess so, if I'm not mistaken, right? So, it's pretty sweet. It's pretty sweet, but that's just, again, Matt, you never upcharge? No, 100%. I always upcharge my shirts, okay? But what my goal always was, always to upcharge my shirts, but basically everything I did, you guys all know the PETA rule, right? The pain in the ass customer. So if it were that 3-color version, me personally, to be honest, I would sell this. I would sell the one that I just showed you, the Love with Just Rhinestones, probably at $20, okay? The full one that had 2 colors of glitter and rhinestones, I probably would have been at $35. And most of you may not be at that price. Do you know why? Who can tell me why I would have priced that at $30 or $35? Who can tell me why? What do you think? Right? 100%. So, me personally, I honestly really didn't want to make that $35 design because of all the labor involved. I would much rather them get the $20 design and be happy with it. Shoot, I'm not going to lie. I would sell the Love design for $15 if I needed to. I want to do the numbers on that and see. I want to see what the difference is, because this is a really good point for you guys. So let's take this same design. Let's go through the pricing again, and I'm going to sell it for only $15, and I'm even going to up the time frame. I'm going to move it to 5 minutes per shirt. So I lowered the price by $5. I upped it to 5 minutes per shirt. Okay? And we're still going to, everything else will keep the same. So when I hit price on this one, we are at order $750, $294 in cost. We're going to make $455, and we're going to make $109 an hour. Okay? And it's still going to take us 4 hours to complete it. All right? Now, check this out. That, again, that's not as much money. We're not making as much money. It's like, oh, crap, I can't make any money on that. But Selling that shirt for 15 bucks, we're still making $109 an hour after our overhead cost and our labor cost and our material cost. All right? So when I come back to the other design now and I do the same thing, but I move it up to 35 bucks, but it's still going to take us 20 minutes to make it. Is that what we went last time, 20 minutes? We priced this out, or did we do 15 minutes? Let's see. Again, all 3 colors of glitter, all 3 pressing, and what? Oh, yeah, we did. We did 15 minutes last time. So let's do it the same. So let's move it to 15 minutes to produce each one, and price. Watch this. We were making $109 an hour before. I bumped the price up $5 more. So that's if everybody's buying these for 35 bucks. My business is going to make $1,250, a lot more on this job, right? But I'm still only making, and I say only, this would still be amazing either way, right? Your business, after all expenses, are making $100.01 an hour, but it's taking you 12 and a half hours to do that job. So, and that's the difference between a $35 shirt and a $15 shirt. So that's the biggest thing is when you're selling, whether it's a tumbler, whether it's a t-shirt, whether it's whatever you're selling, you have to know to be successful in this business. You have to know your overhead cost. You have to know your labor cost. Everybody always wants to know the shirt cost and how much they have in heat transfer vinyl or sign vinyl. That's a small fraction of what your cost is, okay? So, knowing those costs, who would have really thought coming into this, be honest with me, who would have really thought coming into this that $15 Love shirt would have made you more money than a $35 Love shirt? Be honest with me. Probably not many of you would have thought the $15 one was going to make your business more per hour than the $35 one. Am I correct? Cheryl, thank you so much. Tell them thank you. To get that calculator up, you right-click on the money sign. So on the money sign up here, you right-click on it, and that's what will pull up this pricing calculator one. Got it? I know, not at first, right? But that's the whole point, and that's why I love these all-star trainings, because it's a much smaller group. I mean, obviously, if I'm going over this stuff in a tomorrow night's training, and we have 1,000, 1,200, 1,500 freaking people last week, right? It's obviously impossible to answer all the questions. So this is where it's a lot nicer with, and that's the whole point of these special all-star trainings, is to keep it as a smaller group. All right. I want to answer some questions now as far as some of the different things we covered. But just to let you know, you're going to get that Love design for free. I'll drop them all in the All-Star memberships tomorrow. The Love design, you'll get, and the Rhinestone heart, and the tumbler. I'll drop the PNG tumbler in there if you guys want. It's super easy to just go grab it as well. So whatever you guys think. I know, it's so hard to keep up with the comments on Monday, right? We were on fire last week. Yes, we were. Single or multiple copies of the template. Ooh, that's a great point, Eric. That's a great point. So that Love design, Eric, I'm going to be honest with you. If somebody came in and ordered 100, or even, honestly, Eric, probably 25. If someone ordered 25 of that Love design, I would probably cut 2 of them. Brush 2 at the same time, hot fix 2 at the same time. 100%. Now, don't do it if you just have an order of 3 of them off the start, because now you're doubling your Magic Flock cost. Because here's the way I look at it, Eric. And does everybody understand what Eric's question was there? So, say for example, this template wasn't a custom one, right? And it just said Lakewood Ranch Soccer 2021, okay? And they ordered 20 of these shirts. I would cut 2 of these on the same template and brush them all in at the same time in hot fix tape, okay? Because it's going to bump my price of Magic Flock from $2 to $4. However, okay, when we go in and we run our numbers on this, at $4 of Magic Flock, but 20 designs, it's really only 20 cents worth of Magic Flock. Does that make sense? But what is that going to save me time in? Okay, think of the difference. If you only have one template, brush in the stones, hot fix tape, press it, right? Well, if you have 2 of them here, brush in the stones, hot fix tape, trim it, press. Now I made 2 of them at the same time. Now it's not technically going to cut your time in half, but I bet you if like the 50 shirt one, if it were a 4-hour job, I guarantee it would probably knock it down to 2 hours or 3 hours, 3 hours and 15 minutes. I bet you it would take 30 to 45 minutes off the job. And then think of that. This is where, again, thinking like a business, thinking about all of your costs, even if it only took a half hour, right? Say it took a half hour off the job, you had an extra $2 in Magic Flock, but you saved a half hour of employee cost at $12 an hour. That saved you $6 in employee cost, $2 in extra Magic Flock cost. You just made $4 more. So, again, don't always think of it. And, I mean, honestly, if you wanted to, if you had a little bit of spacing between it, you don't even have to grab a big piece of hot fix tape. You could grab just the size, brush them all in, hot fix tape, and then bring the hot fix tape over after you press it, put the hot fix tape on the lower template, and do the same thing. Anything you can do to save time in the production side of it is huge. Okay? And that's obviously the whole point of the wizard as well. Like, to be able to figure out, think of, now that we're talking about time, right? Think of how long it would take you to make, let's say, for example, this design in Silhouette Designer Edition. Or you can't even make it in Design Space, but other softwares, right? Well, if you got to the point where you could create this design in, let's say, 5 minutes versus an hour, well, that right there probably just saved you $11 in employee cost right there. So that's the design side of it, is where a lot of people won't charge a customer. And you could literally be at the point where you lost money on a shirt before you even started making the shirt. Think about it. If it took you 2 hours to make a design at a $12 an hour employee, that's big, right? That's $24 in cost before you ever did anything if you aren't charging a setup and design fee. What's the best vinyl for a car window? Can we do without shield? 100% you can do it without shield. Your best is going to be our permanent, the Color Spark permanent vinyl. And we have it now in the 5 foot. Oh, and while you guys are here as well, but let me switch my screen over here real quick. The vinyl and foil, and if you go to the permanent Color Spark adhesive vinyl, these are all of our basic colors. $3.25, just to let you know, that's a 5-foot roll. You would be amazed at how many people have called and said, is that for per foot? No, that's for a 5-foot roll of our permanent adhesive vinyl. And we have 43 different colors right now. So that's the best for outdoor, which is going to give you around a 3 to 5 year outdoor life. What you have to use? Oh, the other thing real quick before I move on from this is I haven't put them on the main part of the website or anything yet, but do you guys know what rhinestones are back in stock? We didn't get a ton of them in, but we should just change the name, right? The Polar Purples are back in stock. So we just got back in the Purple Velvet Diamond Cut. And that's what I used on, do I have that tumbler out here? Let me see. Yes, I do. That's what I used on this tumbler here. These are the Purple Velvet with, which glitter did we use? Did we use Eggplant for this one, I want to say? Let me flip over here and see. We used, I think it was, yes, I think it was Eggplant, right? Yes, Eggplant. Awesome. All right, fire away with some more questions. What do we got? So, nobody else, you guys obviously got the notice about the Purple Velvet. Nobody else will know that those are technically back in stock until tomorrow's email. So, I know that there is some in stock right now, so you can't say that you didn't know. You can press rhinestones on the glitter heat transfer vinyl for a HTV anything decal. Not on the t-shirts though. Evelyn, we've tried to, we've been looking into possibly another one. Here's the thing, Evelyn, with that is there's no way to actually do it because the memberships, like for YouTube, are all through YouTube. So they aren't linked to our website at all. How do you change the vinyl from plain to glitter? Where you're going to see that at is when you're within the wizard. You're just going to come over to the right-hand side here. Click on this little arrow. It's going to give you a little pop-up and just go to Caesar Glitter and you'll see all the different glitter colors. Got it? The two Graphtec cutters, is there anything different other than the size and the stand? I want to get the 7060, but I can save the difference and get the wizard. Yeah, the only difference, the motor, everything is basically the exact same with the cutter. It's going to cut just as good. It's just the width. You're going to get a 15-inch versus a 24-inch. And obviously the 15-inch is the tabletop. And that's the one I use in all of my lives. So the quality of the cutter, the quality of the cut, the motor, everything is the exact same other than the width. Are we still advised to not to save a wizard file? Yes, correct, VY. I mean, unless you're doing it for a mock-up or something, but when you save a file, just save it in a regular color. I don't have that problem. I recognize Jason, but sometimes it does not always pull up. I didn't see what the... I'm trying to go back and see what that question was. Sometimes my design does not show, just the weed box. Oh, in your cut in... Are you saying, Yvonne? Are you saying in Cutting Master? It's hard to see your design. If you guys ever do get to the point where it's hard to see your design, one thing you can do, it's just a weird thing with Cutting Master. If you added an outline to it, I just right-clicked. Oh, Silhouette Connect. Gotcha. Okay. I wish there was, Alan. We've honestly looked into that as far as ordering it, and it's always by like when you order it. Yes, but Jeff, you got it, because I remember Jeffrey. I remember you were asking me about that a year or so ago, right? Yeah, just a right click. Connect with the wizard. Gotcha. The 200K sale is probably going to be the end of this week or going into the weekend. So, as you guys know, oh, let me flip the camera around. As you guys know, we did, you guys are freaking awesome, by the way, hit the 200,000 subscribers. So, we are giving away a Graph Tech cutter, okay? We will probably, I would say probably Wednesday or Thursday at the latest, we will announce and kind of start the entries for the Graph Tech cutter. Okay, one thing I know for a fact is you have to be a subscriber on the YouTube channel, which obviously all of you guys are. But yes, we will probably at the end of this week. And then, like I said, we're going to do a 200,000 subscriber sale as well. And that will probably be going at the end of the week, going into the weekend. Matt, here's the issue with the 24-inch, and I appreciate your freaking loyalty, dude. The 24-inch vinyl, the issue with it, honestly, is the shipping on it is so expensive, and being down in Florida and shipping to California and to Texas and everything else, unfortunately for us, it's better for you guys to get it from a local place, because I mean, obviously for your regular adhesive vinyl like an Oracle, which is similar to our Color Spark Permanent, but like price wise for you guys it just makes sense because the shipping's so expensive, because those 24-inch rolls are so heavy. They get to the point where it's more expensive to ship them than it is for the actual vinyl. So, believe me, I wish. How do I cut my Graph Tech inside of Corel in the Wizard? So when you're within the Wizard and Corel, for the Graph Tech, you're going to go to Export, and then you just choose Graph Tech and Send to Cutter. Okay, and I mean, you guys see me all the time. It's there, but I honestly always just go to Launch and cut Plot CM4. And the only reason why is normally I'm on a different tab in the Wizard. So I might be working with stones and I'm on the Place and Fill tab, and I don't want to move away from that tab, so I just come up here and send it. But you can do it either way. Even though it's in the Wizard, I prefer just going right here and clicking it. The new Color Spark Craft Vinyl Glitter Pack. The new one is for outdoor use. That is correct. The textured glitter is not for outdoor use, but the new one is. And I'm going to be starting to show that in the videos here and the live trainings too. Yes, 100%. Yes, I agree, Matt. Um, I promise you guys, I am making a ton of progress on the 6.0. A ton of progress on the 6.0. Like I was saying the other day, I think I was at 98%. I would say, as far as getting, now, there's still work to be done after that. I'm going to honestly say probably 99.9% now that we are going to get all of the new features to be able to be compatible with X7. So, and I know we have a lot of X7 users, right? So, X7, X8, 2017, 2018, 2019, 2020, when 2021, I mean, it'll be compatible with 7 years old versions of CorelDRAW. I would be pretty safe to say that there is no other software out there that is an add-on to Corel that dates back that far. And believe me, I'm telling you guys, I can't even tell you how many hours have been involved, and weeks and months have been involved. It was basically X7 and X8 were the biggest issues. Just because X7 and 8 don't do a lot of things that we're asking it to do. So we basically have to code the software to make Corel do these things that Corel X7 and X8 don't do. I'm telling you, I'll be honest with you, I probably could have had, we probably could have had the wizard out by Black Friday, honestly. Probably by the end of November. Had we just said, you know what, screw it, who cares? If they have X7 or X8, they just need to pay an upgrade. Whether you did it with us or not, doesn't matter. Or they have to get on the monthly subscription. But I know that, shoot, $200 when I was first starting, man, there was no way I was affording an extra $200. So I know for some of you who are like, well, I have 2020 or I have the monthly membership, or I know some of you are like, well, just get it ready for us. And I know that part's frustrating, so I apologize. But you would, I mean, we have over 1,000 users that use X7. So, believe me, I could have made a lot more money just saying, screw it, let's just get this thing done and get it out to everybody. But as you guys know, I'm going to be as honest as I can possibly be with you and save you as much money as possible. So if it takes an extra, like it has, 3 months, whatever it is, hey, I'm going to save a boatload of people money. Do you like any of the Corel past deck? You know what? Honestly, the only reason why I use X8, the only reason why I use X8 is just to show people who upgrade that you don't have to. Because I promise you, if there was something I could do in 2020 that would really make a big difference that I can't do in X8, don't you think I would be using 2020? So again, my goal is to try to get you not to have to spend extra money, because $200 could be $200 worth of Rhinestones, or $200 worth of heat transfer vinyl, or $200 worth of blank shirts. Those are the things that are going to make you money, right? So that's my goal. I know, as you're getting started, or even as you're growing your business, like upgrading and paying all this extra for software, and I mean, some of the softwares out there that are monthly subscriptions that are pretty freaking expensive, they get expensive over time, right? Just like you don't have to ever change my blade, right? I have not upgraded, would you? Hold on, let me go back here. Was that you, Connie? Yep. I have not upgraded because Matt said No need to at the time. I would gladly upgrade if it makes it easier and faster. Yeah, and Connie, as soon as you see me upgrade, that means that it makes sense. Right? Because it's going to make something easier or something quicker. Or yes, there's a few different things in the newer versions, but nothing that makes a huge difference for what we're doing. Awesome. So, 1 hour, 2 hours, what's the difference, right? How many times have we ever had an all-star training that lasted an hour? Never. I would say an hour, but sorry, we went a double time. It's all good. So everybody, hopefully, whether it's in the designing side of it, in the contour outlines, the stones, the thinking about the design versus editing the stones, or the pricing, or the different options, or the whatever, hopefully everybody learned at least something new tonight that's going to help your business. That's the whole goal of all these all-star trainings. So as always, freaking appreciate all of you all-star members. You guys are all awesome. I will be putting the multi-deck heart design and this multi-deck love design into the community tab tomorrow for you guys. So you guys will be able to download these for free. Those are yours. So even those of you who don't have the wizard right now. And again, that's why I like to get into all of that other stuff. So I feel like, and I hope so, that even all of you here that might not have the wizard, you still learned something when it came to, and that's why I like to get into talking about the pricing and the different price levels and the upselling and all of that stuff. So, again, appreciate all of you guys, all-star members. You guys are my crew. Appreciate all of you. Appreciate the support. But tomorrow night, 8 p.m. Eastern Time, you guys know what it is. Cameo 4 giveaway. If we got 1250 last week, okay? Even though we got to 1,500 people last week, I told you I'm only going up 250 increments at a time. So if we get to 1,500 people tomorrow night, then I'll do 2 Cameo giveaways again. And then if we get that, then 1,750 the next week, then 2,000. So it's going to be good. I am. 2 cameras with OBS, yes. Actually, only 1 camera, Becky, and then I'm recording my screen with the other one. Sweet. All right, crew. Hey, appreciate all of you guys. I will see you guys all tomorrow, 8 p.m. Eastern Time. I may hop on TikTok during the day or something. I'm actually going to right now start working on, because I still haven't got it perfected. I'm hoping to get it by tomorrow, but we'll see. But not that, what? That. The rhinestone template for the Cricut Maker. All right, crew. Hey, appreciate all of you guys. Have an amazing night. Be safe. We'll see you guys soon. Later.